Steve Anderson, and this is Tony Songest. Between the two of us, we're going to put up a carport. I'll do the talking and Tony will do all the work. Righto Tony, let's do it.
Right.
Tony's approaching the average car. It happens to be a Camry, and as you can see in the boot, we've got the car portable. It's taking up probably only a quarter of the boot. Tony's going to lift it out. For our demonstration purposes, of course, he's going to bring out the entire bag, display all the contents, but under normal circumstances you wouldn't need to do that. You could easily just work straight from the boot. Now, just showing you here that the entire bag of the car portable is about the same volume as a golf bag. So if you can fit a golf bag in your boot, you'll have no trouble with this.
Right, that's it.
Righto, Tony. So now I'll take you through the components of the car portable. There we've got 4 water bags. Now, if you have got the car in, you don't need the water bags, but of course, for our purposes, we're going to use the water bags to hold the carport in position without the car for this demonstration. In front of the water bags there, you'll see that we've got the covers, and they are plastic bags within. That's just to show you what the componentry is. There's an instruction manual there. In front here we've got the 4 telescopic rods with 2 centre connectors. The idea of those is that they will hold the 4 wheel plates. There they are there. Now behind them we've got the cover, which we'll draw over the top. We've got the rods here. There's 4 diagonal sets of diagonal rods and 2 centre rods, along with the centre connector. That's it. Thank you, Tony. There's 4 straps here which will hold the cover onto the outriggers, and right back here at the beginning is this black strap which determines the width the carport is set at. Today we're going to set it at 2.7 metres, which will fit the average car. Today the Camry is probably an average car. You'd set it for 2.4 probably for a smaller car, and anything up to 3 metres for a larger car, but 2.7 generally fits most. Okay, so we've talked about the various parts. Now Tony's going to put the carport up. Now you'll notice today we're doing it on concrete. So it can go on concrete, it can go on tar, it can go on grass, you name it. Now what Tony's doing is setting up the telescopes, and there's that centre strap which sets it at 2.7 width. The connector there in the middle of the telescopes has got push button attachments, so he's just attaching them. Now he's sliding the telescopes out to their full length, either side of the centre. That will then give us approximately 6 metres coverage, which will do with most cars. There we are, fully extended. Tony will now get that up, get these telescopes approximately square. There he's going to attach one of the foot plates. Now we've made this carport to suit a 4-wheel car, so there'll be 4 plates. But I do remember an episode of Mr. Bean where he upset a 3-wheel car, a Messerschmitt from memory I think, by simply nudging it with his Mini, and managed to overturn it. But we didn't even attempt to make a car portable for 3 cars. We'll settle for 4 cars, which most cars are. And notice on the outside of the plates there's the shock cords. They will be used to attach the cover. So there you are. He slides the 4 plates back to the stop, back to the first stop on the telescopes. Now, Tony's going to put the rods in now. There's 4 diagonal rods. He'll do them first, but you'll notice they're in 6 segments, but he's left the top segment loose. Now the reason for that is that Tony's an average height, and of course these rods are something like 3 metres tall. So in order for him to reach them, he's leaving that top segment loose. Yeah, there's 4 holes in the plates which are angled out at the correct angle so as to create a pumpkin shape to keep the car portable clear of the car. So that's why they're leaning out at an angle. When he draws them together to the centre connector, you will see it forms the correct shape. A little bit like Cinderella's coach. I think that was shaped like a pumpkin. It is in Shrek anyway. These rods are a little like a blind cane. You just stretch them out and they clip back together. Now Tony's got the centre connector, and what he'll do is he'll take one of these diagonal rods, insert it into one of the 6 holes in the centre connector, and you notice he's engaged the other part of the rod. He's repeating that. Right, there we are. So those 2 rods are now connected with the centre connector. He's repeating it with the 3rd. And the 4th. And we now have an igloo. Virtually an arch, and of course that's what gives the car portable its shape and strength. The centre connectors are now being added. They're important because that's the area that will keep this carport clear of your car. Again into the base, same procedure, into the centre connector. Right, there we are. That's virtually the framework of the car portable. We do have rods in the cover, which you'll see in a minute what they're for. Now, Tony's now bringing the cover across. He's going to put that on the far side for our purposes today. But it could be on the near side. It's just a question of, if it's a bit windy, then you put it up on the side that the wind is coming from, and the idea of that is that the cover then will be easier to draw across. Now you'll notice the rods are in a gusset on the cover, and he's inserting the rod into the fitting on the plate. There's also a keyring on there. Now that keyring, I'll show you on this one. That keyring comes in and attaches to one of the shock cords. You can see Tony just clipping it on there now. Now the idea of that is that to avoid the possibility of these end arches flicking out of their housing. So it's just a safety precaution. Now again, Tony's doing the rods. He doesn't need to leave the end one out this time because he doesn't have to reach up to reach the centre connector. Again, he puts it in the plate connector there and attaches the keyring. Someone just drove past, blew their horn and admired the car portable. That could be our first customer. A red car too. Wouldn't a red car match Tony's jumper? So we know that fellow. He probably is going to buy one too. He's been admiring the progress of this invention for some little time. There we are. Tony's putting the last arch in, connecting the keyring to the shock cord. Right. Now, what's he doing now? Ah, yes. We said earlier, didn't we, that we needed to keep this car portable in place without a vehicle. So Tony's using the water bags. Now he's got 4 water bags, obviously one for each corner. There's a Velcro strap on them, so that when you get them in position, you tie them around one of the arches. That then keeps them in place because you don't want to drive the car back over the water bag. There we are. Velcro. I told you it was going around the arch, didn't I? I made a mistake. It goes around the telescope.
Just like that.
Yep. So it's held in two spots, which keeps it well out of your way when you're getting into the car park, the carport at least, and also stops the bag from rolling off the plate. Now, Tony has pulled that front arch into a vertical position. It's necessary to do that so that you can draw the cover over the frame. Ah, there's the logo. See that? Car portable. I didn't mention that earlier, but that easily identifies the outside of the cover from the inside of the cover. That way you know which is the outside and which is the inside of the cover before you attach the rods to the plates. Now you see Tony's attaching the shock cords to the cover. It's in 5 positions on either side of the car portable. They can be adjusted. We've made them in 2 segments, so that if you feel it needs to be tighter, you can move the carabiner hook up to the next setting. Now, we better go around the other side and see what he's up to. And he'll repeat the same procedure here. Now he'll pull it. Now he'll pull the arches down to make that easier. That's the second one. There's only one in the centre. The third. He's got a fine head of hair for his age, hasn't he? Did you notice that when he bent over you could see his pate and it was completely covered? I wouldn't want anyone to photograph me from that direction. Right, let's go around the other side. Where have you gone, Tony? Ah, there he is. Aha, outriggers. Yes. Outriggers. Now what we need with these, the reason for these outriggers is to create the shape of the carport. That arch is drawn down and attached with a strap to the outrigger, which gives it its distinctive opera house bat type shape. Something went wrong there. He's gone round the front.
We've just got to adjust the last one.
He had to adjust that other one. He'll go back and do that. Now what may be necessary for Tony to do is just to adjust these outriggers if the cover's too loose. But he'll be the judge of that. Yeah, there we are. To tighten it up, just pull up on the strap. You know, you don't want the cover too tight. The idea is that the cover needs to remain relatively taut and yet flexible also, so that any movement in the wind is taken by the carport. See, this is genuine. This is a genuine demonstration. Tony didn't tighten these up before we started. There we are. There we are. I'll just move back a bit. Oh, that's not the best angle. I'll go this way where the light's better. I'm not a photographer, you must understand. I'm only an amateur. So I'm doing the best I can. There's the car portable on a hard surface, freestanding, held up by itself without the need of the car because it's got the water bags. Right, here we are. We're now inside the car portable. Let me see. There we are. Great for kids parties. It doesn't have to be just for cars, it can be used for shelter generally. There we are. There's the plates, the telescopes, the plates, the shock cords, the same on that side, all freestanding, kept in place by the water bags. In a minute we'll show you how to enter your car. Okay, Tony's now going to raise the arch on one end of the car portable to allow for the entry of the car. He's disconnecting the shock cords and the telescope on one end only, which allows for that arch to go back into the vertical position. Now what he's doing, he's reaching inside the cover to find a Velcro strap. It then comes out, around, and attaches to a similar Velcro connector on the outside of the cover. There he is, he's found it. He's found it. Just like on washing day, isn't it, Tony? Just like hanging out the washing. Right, that's one end of the carport up. Tony will now take over, and I'll put a car in there.
And now Steve is showing us how we'll put the car in. You'll notice that he drives over the plates and carefully makes sure the exterior mirrors go in, no problem. And he comes back so that the four wheels are resting on the plate. Now the plates have got a ridge, and and there you go. And there's the four plates, 4 tyres sitting on the plates. And he has enough room to get himself out of the car, and if he needed a bit more room he'd just need to expand that to 2.8 or 2.9. All he does then is to unhook the Velcro straps from both sides, which by going into the carport forward on is very simple, and then reconnect all the straps. As you can see, it's not a big exercise. You do need to do this if you're going to leave the carport empty. Even if with the water bags, you need to re-establish. So he goes around and puts them on the other side, and by pulling the end down, as you can see, the car is all but covered. Pull that into place and the car is covered by 90% of the time against rain, unless it's going horizontal. And there's your carport with the car in it. Thank you.
As you can see, we entered the carport from this end. If you were in the garage, for example, and you wanted to put the car in the carport, you'd back it in. So either end can act as an entry or exit point. We've actually had boats in it. You can drive the car, for example, get the boat out of the garage, drive the car at least through the garage with the car behind it. You can use it for trailers, for jet skis, for anything you want to cover, really. It's up to you.
Here it is, a portable carport. We believe it's unique. There is not another carport in the world which you can use, and it is, as we say, built for bitumen. It'll go wherever a car goes as long as it's on a flat, level, hard surface. We trust you've enjoyed this little demonstration. Thank you for your time.